On today's episode, we are going to be installing polyurethane bushings. Now, the ones that we're doing today are for the front control arms. This goes in the first part. We've got your metal dowel. It goes right on in. We're going to remove the control arm today, and we're going to go to a shop, get everything pressed down and pressed in. For the back part of the control arm, we have the adjustable caster ones from Powerflex. And the way that these guys work is they're offset a little bit. And so that way when you put it in, you can rotate to your needs for how much caster you want. I'm gonna go with the maximum caster possible to work with the Fiesta, since it's mainly more of a track car now. As you can tell, it's under a tarp. It's been raining a lot here just because of the engine bay and all the electronics. Just makes it easier to cover the entire thing. I'm not going to take that off since it's only 2 bolts, since all the ball joints have already been removed from when we removed the engine. So we're going to do that. We're going to take our way to our shop, and you guys get to see the process of pressing and pressing out the bushings. So as you can see, since I don't want to move anything, my radiator shroud is sort of in the way. Thankfully, I've already loosened these guys, so they're not so bad. When I did the engine, I loosened this one. However, I have not loosened that guy. So we'll see how difficult or hard that one is, but there's nothing in the way on that one. Should have wore gloves. There we go. So again, to remove the control arm, it's this bolt, the ball joint, which is already removed, and then this 15mm bolt. There we go. That's your control arm. And as you can see, this guy has some play in there anyways from the stock setup. So that's why the new one is going to roughly work too. There might need to be a little massaging or rotation, but these rubber bushings are going. Sure.
Same issue?
Yeah.
You just... Good thing it's in that case.
Yeah,
it came out.
Well,
it worked! I'm gonna be very careful with this because it might fucking bust my hand. Put it in the hole.
yeah. I can't even see it, man.
Just keep going. Just keep going. It's moving. It's moving. Now they're at cover.
I got my testes covered. I think it's gone.
Oh, it's going. I see it popping out the bottom. You just gotta press it all the way through.
Oh yeah, it's going.
It's going in. It's going in.
Crooked though.
It does look a little crooked. But let's just press it in and then, worst case, we press it out.
There it goes. That looks better.
Yeah, it's leveling itself out.
Alright.
That's good. That's good. Out. Oh, that's nice. That went in pretty evenly. That's the same as the other one.
So once it's in, you insert the OEM bolt, and you can adjust the ball as needed to get the correct angle you need. So it's roughly, and we will check again with the press to see if this is the the angle. If not, we'll press it out and press it back in, but it's got to be more or less up and down. And we'll see the angle on that. I wanted it as inside as possible, so that looks about good for the driver's side. Let's check the passenger side.
Love it when a plan comes together. Here, why don't we hold it like that? You can pivot it.
So this is, again, wants to be as close to up and down as possible. Again, I'll be double checking this before I mount it to the car, but that looks a little more up than it does in, doesn't it? Like this one looks more like it's in. That one needs to be that way.
We need to turn it?
But I think that's...
Yeah, we just need to turn it with a wrench.
Yup. So this is my test. I flipped it upside down, put the bolt in, and my little pry method there with my legs and hands worked just enough to make it even as everything is lining up. So that's what we needed. Those are done. I have to get new dowels because the OEM bolts, for some reason, are bigger than the hole provides. Yeah. Ooh, the other idea, I could drill it out.
No.
That might be fun.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Alright, so fortunately I was able to drill out the dowels, and the bolt I need goes through. So that's the step we're taking. One thing I did notice, there's a little bit of movement inside on both of them. So we're gonna fix that with some Teflon tape. So we've got the whole assembly up here. We have the setup that we've already pressed in, and we just have to do the one right here. So I've got my Teflon tape here, I've got my grease, I've got my bushings, and I've got my dowels. So one trick that I learned too before inserting the dowels is to wrap them, and it helps prevent the massive squeaking that you can sometimes get, or what's notorious for polyurethane bushing. So I'm going to wrap it a little bit with Teflon tape. I'm going to grease it up, insert it. It's going to be mounted in here, and then we'll do the same thing with our new bolts. Well, not new bolts, but yeah. Okay, you just push it on, 2 done. Again, that's to help prevent all the squeaking. So what's going to be done now is both units are going to be lubricated inside. I'm gonna sandwich it in here, and then I'm going to but push in my hands, that guy. If it gets a little tough, we'll go over to the vise and we'll just push it in with that. But it shouldn't be too bad. We're gonna lubricate the inside with grease. I'm also going to grease the outside a little bit, just so it slides in a little bit easier. So, not a whole lot, but just enough to, if it does move, it's not going to be squeaking on us. And then after I do that, I'm going to insert and slide. So there's one. Same thing, just going to insert and slide. Those are in. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to lubricate the dowel. And I'm going to be inserting as best as I can. It's a tight fit. I think I'm gonna have to use the vise, so let's get on over to that to use the vise. So here we are with the vise. Let's open it up. There we go. That is a bushing install. So as you can see, between the stock bushings and the aftermarket polyurethane bushings by Powerflex, there's quite a difference between the rubber and the new material. I tried cutting the stock one to see if I could get that center dowel before I attempted to drill it, with some help from my dad there, but there was no luck as it's molded to the stock one. In the back, what you can see with the aftermarket, it's more of a spherical ball joint, whereas the OEM rubber one kind of looks like how the motor mounts are, especially the rear motor mount, where it has this flex joint in there, and then it's got this oblong hole. So there's a bit of difference between play and movement that's going to be happening once these are installed. So let's go ahead and put these in. Make life easier. Insert back first. Put in hole. Thread in hole. Okay. Make life easier up front. Get some grease, lube it up, insert. So what I'm gonna do is put some grease on the outside here, and there, and some up here. Let's see, how is that working? Hey, what do you know? It's working. Almost. I'm gonna get a screwdriver, see if I can pull that up, or actually I see the hole. There we go. We have our control arms reinstalled with our new Powerflex bushings. Next on our list is to do the Powerflex version of their race version, because what I installed with their purple is their street versions, but I have their race version for the sway bar, the stock sway bar. I'm going to be doing that along with the steering rack bushings provided by Alex the Machinist. So hopefully those get in the mail for the next video. If not, they'll be probably a nice pleasant surprise for another alternative. So we've got some things to do still before the engine gets back, which is happening pretty quickly, I must say. Getting all the pictures and information from Russell at Dead Hook Motorsports, they're moving along, and so I've got to hustle myself here to make sure everything's ready for when the engine comes back, that I can throw it in and just get ready to drive the car again, which I'm looking forward to, so looking forward to. See you next time.